say no without feeling guilty. Setting boundaries is healthy. You need to learn to respect and take care of yourself. Learning to say no sometimes can be very beneficial to ourselves, and in this video I am going to cover the reason why and how to do it without feeling guilty or hurting people. For that, we can consider the chapter 9, a bicycle in good repair. So first of all, I am going to discuss with you the brief summary of the story, and after that there is a question and answer session for you. So shall we start the summary? Yes. The narrator one evening accepted his friend's proposal to go for a long bicycle ride on the following day. He got up early and started waiting for his friend. His friend came half an hour late. He examined the narrator's bicycle. He shook the front wheel with force. He did not heed the narrator's request not to hurt the machine. The friend declared that the front wheel was unsteady and it could prove dangerous. He asked for a hammer. He took the front wheel off the fork and held it between his legs. He found fault with the bearings. He set about repairing the machine. He unscrewed it, and the little iron balls rolled away. They collected some 16 of them. The narrator put them for safety in his hat. Next, the friend handled the chain. He took off the gear case. He declined to know all about a bicycle. He removed the gearbox but lost the screws. The narrator was too weak to check the friend from doing further mischief. The friend went ahead. He tightened the chain till it would not move. Then he made it very loose. He finally decided to fix the front wheel in place. The narrator then changed place with him and put the wheels in right position. He laughed and admitted that he was an ass. The reason was that they had forgotten to put the iron balls in place. The narrator looked for his hat in which he had put the balls safely, but the hat lay upturned and the balls were scattered. They could find only 11. They fixed 6 on one side and 5 on the other side, and half an hour later the wheel was put in its place again, but it wobbled even then. The narrator was impressed not so much by his friend's skill at repairing the bicycle as by his confidence in himself and his hopeful attitude. The friend got encouraged. He then set to refix the gearbox. He put the bicycle in different places and positions for the job. He lost his balance and hurt himself on the head. Then he lost his temper and tried to punish the bicycle. It was a sort of fight between man and machine. The tough bicycle showed spirit. It freed itself from his hold and hit him over the head with its handle. At 1:45, the man thought that the work was done. He himself was dirty and bleeding. He cleaned himself and the narrator then sent him home. It was difficult to decide who had suffered more, the friend or the bicycle. So, it was a very beautiful story, right? A very funny story. I hope all of you enjoyed the story. Now let's move on to the question answer session. Answer the following questions. Question number 1. Did the front wheel really wobble? What is your opinion? Give a reason for your answer. Answer is, the front wheel did wobble but very little. It did not need immediate repair. The writer had no trouble with his bicycle. Question number 2. In what condition did the author find the bicycle when he returned from the tool shed? Answer. When the author returned from the tool shed, his friend had already taken off the front wheel. The remaining part of the machine was laying on the stony path. Question number 3. Nothing is easier than taking off the gear case. Comment on or continue this sentence in the light of what actually happens. Answer. The friend had overconfidence in his skill to set the bicycle right. He had certainly no problem in taking off the gearbox. But as he realized later, it was very difficult to refax it. Question number 4. What special treatment did the chain receive? Answer. The chain was a little loose. tightened it so hard that it would not move at all. He then made it loose again, but this time the chain became twice as loose as before. Now let's move on to the last question of this chapter, question number 5. The friend has two qualities. He knows what he is doing and is absolutely sure it is good. Find the two phrases in the text which means the same. Answer: cheery confidence in yourself. This is the first phrase. And the second phrase is your inexplicable hopefulness. So friends, let's wind up today's session. In this class, we have learned about the chapter A Bicycle in a Good Repair. It's a very funny story and it's a beautiful story also. And I will meet you again in next video with another important chapter for you. Till then, have a nice day and goodbye.